Hey there, Allison here in the Beatrice Forms studio. Today we're doing another form tour. Meet Andrew, the guy who couldn't find a men's or women's form that would work for him. So we just finished making this form for Andrew. He is a swimmer. I don't know if you can see how full he is through the back, right? Because that's a swimmer's body. At one point he was really into that. And so this client tried to solve the problem by going, checking out adjustable forms, checking out both men's and women's fit forms, but there were problems with each of these. For one, when he was looking at an adjustable men's form, the minimum size on the waist would not go small enough for him. And then when he was looking at a woman's form that did have the small enough waist, the proportion on the chest was not right because the volume was on the front and not on the back. As you can see here, he really needs that volume in the back. Even though the chest or bust measurement was the same or close, it didn't have the right distribution of girth. And we see that all the time here at Beatrice Forms where people just have a different distribution regardless of gender. People have different distribution between front and back, maybe side to side, and that's really difficult to find in a traditional fit form or an adjustable one. You really can't muck with that very much. So 3D scan form really fit the bill for this case. So Andrew, it was really nice to meet him. We do a pre-scan consultation before we make a form for somebody, and we really get to know them and, what types of things they're gonna make with their Beatrice, which is always the most fun for me to chat with my clients about. And so Andrew, he's going to be making some historically inspired garments. He's also into a little bit of avant-garde, so can't wait to see what you make, Andrew. And then also, he plans on copying some of those looks that you see online or when you're shopping and they're just a little too expensive to buy. Well, he knows how to make this stuff, so he is going to create those looks, those elevated looks on his Beatrice. He also told us the reason why he decided to go with a Beatrice form is because he's really looking forward to draping. And not only draping, but when you drape on a standard form, you then have to take those pattern pieces that you generate and then alter them to fit your body, because obviously there isn't a match if it's just a standard form. But he decided to get a Beatrice so that he could, take the draped patterns that he was creating and just go straight to making them, and then they're going to fit, right? And so this is going to save him a lot of time. He's very excited about this. The other thing that is really neat to him about working on a 3D scan dress form like a Beatrice is that he'll be able to use his eyes and his hands directly on the form to create his design. So this is effectively like working on a pattern in the third person, because it's not on yourself, it's on somebody else, but this somebody else is Andrew. It's his exact shape. So he's very excited about that, direct, thing where he doesn't have to, struggle on his own body, especially the back. And, that's really hard. I can't really see my back. And then in the mirror, I'm doing like all these contortions to do, take pictures or use another mirror, and then it just, what I'm talking about. So that won't be a problem anymore for him. The other thing I wanted to point out about the form is this is another Beatrice Plus. So if you're, interested in that, here's another great example in a traditional male shape. We do make forms for all genders, okay? Our forms actually don't have a gender, but it's good to see different shapes. So I'm really glad that Andrew was okay with us sharing it. What's really neat is, again, I was able to get rid of the waist seam in the front. So the front of this form is seamless, meaning those markings aren't going to get you know, in the way of the markings you want to put on your form. So Andrew will be able to take this form and put whatever markings he wants, wherever he wants them, so he can get to work in the way he works. Because, you know, everybody works differently. And the little secret that I talked about in the last video, I did the same thing here. I put the zipper in the inseam. So it's not something that you will hit with your pins, hopefully. But yeah, I'm really happy how this one turned out. I really like this new finish. So excited to deliver this to Andrew. He also has a half scale coming too. So, you know, he'll be able to do his design work in half scale and use a quarter of the materials. And then what's neat is you can take the patterns that you make on the half scale and then enlarge them to 200% in a free Adobe Acrobat Reader, and then print them in poster mode on your home printer, and then just tape it together like a PDF pattern. You know how to do this. You've done it a billion times. Anyway, that's how Andrew's going to be working. So thanks for joining me for another form tour. I hope this was helpful to kind of imagine, you know, if you're considering getting a dress form of any kind, you know, who are the people who are getting them and what are they going to use them for and what's different about them. So I hope that you enjoyed this little tour to kind of answer those questions. See you next time.